Fear. We all know how it feels. We all have felt fear. But what is this feeling? We are very close. We already said that sense of aloneness, that sense of unknown, that sense of something, not achieving something, not reaching there. What is this feeling? If you remove the object of fear, but just the feeling, this intense feeling, what is this? If you open up psychology books, they say fear is an essential component of our survival and blah, blah, blah. Because fear helps us our survival. If there was no fear, we would not be alive. Fine. Here we are not talking about survival. I think all of us are able to survive wherever we are in our life, but still there is fear. Yes?
It's more about future.
It's more about future. So the unknown, what has not happened yet, and you don't know what is going to come with it. All of this is all rooted in our different phases of fear. What I would like to share with you is, in my meditation, when I confronted fear, when I look into fear, what is fear and what is this whole drama that goes on inside? From my view, what I can share is there are two root forces in us. Two root forces. One is love. The force of love, the energy of love, the feeling of love, we all know that. When we are empowered by love, nothing matters. No sense of not being able to achieve, no purpose, no sense of the unknown, no sense of future, nothing. You are only rejoicing, enjoying in ecstasy of love. That is, we all know that. We all have that feeling, and we all know this root force of love in us. It's there sometimes, and sometimes it's not there. When it's there, everything is all right. You don't even need to come here and meditate. You're just enjoying your loving moments and the feeling of love. But the problem starts when this feeling of love, when this root force of love is not there. And it's also okay for it to not be there. Then comes the void, the emptiness. And this void, this emptiness, when the root force of love is not there, the emptiness, the void that is there, we don't know how to deal with it. And this is something we're never taught how to deal with, this empty void which is unknown, which has no shape, no name, nothing, and there is no grasp over it. When we touch this empty, unknown void, suddenly we want to somehow deal with it. And comes in the second root force, which is fear. And it starts creating its derivatives to somehow fill this void, somehow fill this emptiness. The first thing this fear, the root force of fear does, is to give you an identity, to give you an ego, the Ahankara, where you suddenly you have something to hold on to. You have something more predictable, something more like an object which you can hold on to and say, I am this, I am that. Ahankara, the ego. That's the first derivative of fear, what it triggers and what it empowers, what it gives all the energy to the Ahankara. The second is desires, your karma. Karma is the energy that you can think of it like this, the life energy that you have. If this is converted into desires, that becomes karma. Desires of sex, of fame, of power, all these desires are nothing but substitutes to fill that emptiness. The more the emptiness, the more the desire to fill, the more the fear, the more the desire to fill this emptiness with achievement, with success, with wanting to win, with wanting to have more power, more fame, more sex, and so on. The people who are the most successful, they are the most fearful. If you look into their hearts, how fearful they are, they will never tell you. Of course, they have learned ways to put a mask, but if you open their heart, is only fear. When this fear is empowering this ego and this desire, it also gives the attachment, the moha, in order to hold this, in order to have this as long as you can. It also gives you the greed to hold and to have more of it, so that you could fill this emptiness, you could fill this void with more and more, as if it is going to substitute, if it's going to fulfill this emptiness, this void. And what happens is, it never fills. You keep on having more greed and you want to fill more of it, but it is never filled. Even this fear also empowers anger. I don't know if you would be surprised if I say, behind anger is fear. Whenever you are angry, why are you angry? You're angry because you don't want something to be lost. You don't want things to happen not the way you want them to happen. There is a sense of misalignment to your worldview, to how things should be and how things are, or how things are happening and manifesting. That brings anger. What is that? It's the fear in the background running. You cannot control the anger. Those who say, manage this anger by doing this or that, are just giving you patchwork. You cannot manage the anger unless you understand the root of it, which is fear. I'm not saying fear is bad. It has its own place in our life. I'm just saying, identify this in your life. Throughout your life, in your daily activities, try to see, am I operating out of love? Am I operating out of this fear? Just to understand where you're lying, in where you are in your inner operations. How does meditation come into play? Meditation is a process which allows us to be with this emptiness. It teaches us how can we be at peace with this emptiness, with this void. When there is love, enjoy the love. When there is no love, be in the emptiness, in your being situated without having the need to necessarily fill it with fear. And if for some reason there is fear, also see it. Also see the root cause of it. When you see it, then you can also cut down the obsession of it, cut down what it is bringing into your life and making you, driving you crazy, going here and there.